Flora Symbolica, the myth and legend of flowers. A story retold, born on the edge of myth and reality.
Thank Eve. For her one sacred theft, we have this fragrant world.
Paradise was a perfect, finished story. But our children deserved a beginning.
You have chosen knowledge. Now, live.
Let there be an end.
This was not the chaos I foresaw. What then is the purpose of this wrath?
A world forged from molten fire. Hell faded, cooling into dust.
God gave this land to Adam and Eve. In love's name, a paradise to build. A divine bolt, blooming thorn and flower.
And Eve stole this drop of beauty.
So be it.
Paradise was too comfortable. Life lost its meaning there.
Don't blame the devil for igniting their passion.
It's this mix of good and evil that makes them unparalleled.
The wildness that lets them survive also lets them truly feel alive. The beast soul that brings them pleasure also reveals their darkest side.
I wish I could peel the sin away.
But it's like trying to have a day without a night.
Take root in this broken world. Grow strong. strong. Where there is nothing, I will bring.
I am the mother. And this is my promise.
I promised you life.
A vow, a memory, a promise of reunion. To taste the sweetness, one must first bow and cultivate. This desire, a reminder, a spark for the sacred mission.
It begins with a song.
With a blush of pure rebirth.
And must all that shines
To become dust and stars.
And a promise of return.
until all that was is gone.
And all is quiet.
Dusk, a gathering of shadows. Honeysuckle vines exhale a cool fragrance.
An unseen celebration begins. A silent music flows.
The primrose awakens in the night. Under the cold moonlight, it slowly blooms. Tender petals unfurl, greedily drinking the moon's essence. It gazes upon the sleeping world, a beacon for nocturnal travelers. In the deep of midnight, it looks to the full moon.
A secret and grand ceremony is complete.
Paradise is lost. A memory. Even the trees weep here. But here, life ignores the verdict. It refuses to fade. My Eden is not lost. It will be built. Paradise was lost, not forgotten.
A memory took root in New Earth.
And the world knew a moment of peace.
Faith sought a final home. Bloomed.
Paradise was lost. A new world began with a promise. Joyful spring is here to stay. Dance around the pole round and round the maypole tree. Swiftly dancing, wild and free. The thorns of memory softened. It was named May, a celebration. A shelter for stories. A haven for quiet hearts.
But winter holds its own promise. A final, defiant word. A promise kept.
Spring is not a gift. It is earned.
Outside Eden, Eve sows the seeds. Her smile remains, but her eyes are heavy. She plants the pale, sorrowful asphodel, a gift for the lost souls of hell.
Countless souls wander among the flowers, sipping nectar, drinking oblivion. In hell's sulphurous embers, fireweed ignites like a flame.
Purple loosestrife breaks the earth, shaped like the fingers of the dead.
The fragrance of wildflowers rises like mist.
These reborn, joyful souls.
To flourish once more in the sun.
Yay! We did it! Look over here! Over here! This is so much fun!
Let there be a beginning. The night has passed, even here in a world born from a breath.
Life sings. It dances. It grows tall.
And in the end, it endures. The gate was closed. Forever. In the deepest cold, where nothing could survive. A bell for the lost, a fire in the ice, hope. The heroes fell. The good was gone. But memory must have a voice. The garden was lost. Everything was lost. So I made a promise. Something must grow here. A fire against the cold. A seed of hope. But hope is not enough. The world requires balance. Life and death. Sorrow and permanence. And at last, fire, not for one, but for two. We were given a new world, Earth.
Paradise was a memory.
A tale I've written, invented, yes, hence, an attempt to unite the Christian pants with the non-belief in a middle ground, somewhere between mystery and good sense.
With Flora mystical and magical, Eden's botanical garden was blessed.
So Eve, taking more than just the apple, plucked off the loveliest of the best. Thus it's to Eve that we must give our thanks
For its variety of fruits and plants.
for when she was out of paradise thrown, she stole all the flowers we've ever known. Therewith, through sensuous beauty and grace, our world would never have come to be
had not God allowed them his mystery.
When they were banished from his bosom,
Eve saw more than just the apple blossom,
and took on her way through Eden's bowers
many wondrous plants and fruitful flowers.
Mighty God, upon seeing this great theft,
at first was angered, but soon smiled and wept.
For human nature was made in his name,
so he had no one but himself to blame.
Yet still God made ready his thunderbolt, as his Old Testament wrath cast its vote to end this experiment gone so wrong. But then he felt the joy of life's new song.
Eve had all the plants that she could carry. God in his wisdom grew uncontrary. Out of Eden she waved the flowered wands, the seeds spilling upon the barren lands.
God held the lightning bolt already lit,
no longer knowing what to do with it,
so he threw it into the heart of hell,
forming of it a place where all was well.
Thus the world from molten fire had birth,
as hell faded and was turned into earth.
This God gave to Adam and Eve with love,
for them and theirs to make a heaven of.
From his bolt grew the hawthorn and bluebell,
the be damned, for Eve stole these as well.
So he laughed and pretended not to see,
retreating into eternity.
So be it, he said, when time was young,
that such is the life my design has wrung.
For in their soul some part of me has sprung.
So let them enjoy all the songs I've sung.
Says God, life was much too easy in paradise,
and lacked therefore of any real meaning.
For without the lows there can be no highs.
All that remains is a dull, flat feeling.
There's no devil to blame for their great zest.
This mix of good and bad makes them best.
The human nature that makes them survive
also lets them feel very much alive.
That same peaceful soul that makes them glad does also make them seem a little bad. If only I could strip the wrong from right, but I cannot have the day without the So it was that with fertile delight Eve seeded the lifeless earth for us to receive. Though many flowers she had to leave behind, these we have from the mother of mankind. Eve gathered the amiable jasmine which soft exhales its breath of friendship, and by a delicious fragrance in the night overpowers the stars with its sweet delight. The jasmine impregnates the dew each night with its friendly perfume of good and right. Thus morning's incense carries its odor, keeping everyone in fresh good humor.
Love's first emotion springs from the lilac, for it blooms when nature is first aroused. Thus it's love's youngest dream to all come back, where it will ne'er again remain unspout.
When time Eve sowed, the bees came all abuzz, and all around it flew their dance of love. So now we know that those who would savor the sweets of love mustn't neglect the flower. Camphor, the scent of paradise, inspires, reminding us to what our soul aspires. When spontaneous desires overspill, to tell us of duties we must fulfill. Daffodils arranged in their elfin way wear their yellow skirts like fairies' dresses, and brighten through the spirit light of morn into the fuller radiance of day.
Butterflies come to life in pansy sights, embodied by extension into flight. Their flowers floating on the air propelled, leaving shadow prints behind on the petal.
The air fills with honeysuckle scented nets from fairies blowing the honey trumpets, while they sow vermilion red geraniums that grow wild into many countless some.
The golden-throated lilies sing at morn, maiden flower blushes, its pureness reborn. Star galaxies of sunflowers sway, echoing the luminosity of day.
Eve picked some dandelions ripe enough to have gone from gold to just so much fluff, reminding us when soft blown with a puff that time will spread us to amid the dust.
Chrysanthemums drink the mellow day, falling petals carry the light away. The autumn fog swirls, the mist up curls, into nothingness the wisps slow unfurl.
Woodbine wets the air with its cooling musk, bluebells herald the dim and dewy dusk, and ring the dance and song of evening knells, music tinkling in fairy festival.
The evening primrose only in the night opens its cup to drink in the moonlight, then gazes round with silent love and smiles, much as we would upon a sleeping child.
Its phosphorescent light guides the flight of the flying creatures that love the night. It looks the swelling moon straight in the sight when they make love in the haunt of midnight.
Pearly everlasting, frozen in time, by Eve's purity survives cold and rime. It's a bit of heaven brought to our clime, where it still ignores the knell of death's chime. With willowy grace, Eve fished with vines, and the willow yet throws out her lines as drooping branches that fill the streams with tears for flowers that we've never seen.
The innocent daisy, or the day's eye, is a lot like the sun. It cannot die. It far outlasts every other flower, shining even when the sun has no power.
Our Buddhas too, whose fruits and flowers of grew together in inseparable love, Eve took along with her as heaven's boon when she felt the kiss of the rising moon.
Out of God's thunderbolt grew the hawthorn. On that day when man and earth were born, its snowy blossoms of hope and union gave this blessed world its first communion.
The fleecy hawthorn sheds its summer snow to remind us of our birth so long ago. So Joseph's hawthorn staff along the way still blooms in winter on Christmas Day. Hawthorn was once known by the name of May, its thorns by them having been bred away. Thus for it the children went to Maying and built the maypole all around it playing.
But the calendar was set back 12 days, so May Day was no more, yet memory stays. And the Queen of Blossoms Day is made when writers and lovers seek out her shade.
Ever the immortal periwinkle, which like the winter stars that twinkle spreads through the snow its glossy flowers to remind us of the spring's sunny hours.
Though laughing with all the smiles she wore, Eve now more serious her burden bore, when she brought forth the mournful asphodel, dedicating it to the souls of hell.
The asphodel sustains the disdwellers where they rest beyond that fatal river. There the wretched shades drink forgetfulness.
From the poppy we gain full sensation, elation and oblivion's consolation. When life's miserable pain is too deep, it simulates death with a balmy sleep.
growing in the cold near the leafless trees. Snowdrop bells ring out for friends in need. They bring hearty hopes to those with hardships. Icicles change to flowers by friendships.
Eve carried forth forget-me-not bouquets that sprouted fast wherever heroes fell. They bring back all of the happiest days to sound in our hearts as memories bell.
Holly, the harbinger of spring desires, blooms all winter long and with hope inspires our cold and dreary hearts to chime and ring with good cheer and love for everything.
Eve took poisonous foxglove and nightshade to balance with woe the good that she gave, offset by amaranth, which if kept in shade would not even after death ever fade.
And for the romantic art, Cupid's dart to spur men and women to make their move. Connected by nature's arrow of love, they deep impart the passion of the heart.
And choral bells rung by bees and hummingbirds, a melody of tones without the words, and airy sprays of frothy baby's breath, gurgling with all that's much too sweet to purge.
Their sweet spikes of aromatic lavender, ready potpourri from heaven's splendor, as all around lay the symbolic flowers to soft drowse the spirits into slumber.
Yet more we know from myth, lore, and legend of flowers that gemmed the fields of Eden, and from symbols and wisdom handed down through oral tradition in floral towns.
Wherever Eve breathed sprung floral dreams. Ever she walked, water followed in streams. Ere she wept, tears bedewed the earth in bloom. A cedar tree even grew from her tomb.
Dead flowers are reborn by spring's breath, and ethereal floral wonderland of everlasting recollections, and some even retain their color after death.
Like amaranth as mentioned earlier, or lasting beauty whose secret elixir grants us flowers red through a year of days. Oh, but that life and love would never fade.
Or cedar, life from the dead, the emblem of eternity as the preservation used for mummy cases and carved figures that last forever, immortal rigor.
Tracking Eve's trail throughout the ageless years, we find ladies' slippers, ladies' fingers, and ladies' smock, all parts of Madonna, her whole self, in fact, in belladonna.
She wore a chaplet of sweetening buds that burst in bloom when fed by air and mud, and a garland of sprouts to strew about, with a rosary of shoots to put out.
Eve, you've scattered the fern seed at midnight's peal, to ask that treasures of the earth would reveal the flowers of woods, waysides and shorelines, or remembered by florographic signs. She planted the tree of life from which we could obtain lumber, fuel, and homes for free, plus weapons, wood, tools, food, and medicine to
to mold the earth into a place we could live in.
And clover bushes, the haunt of the bee, bamboo grass too for home and social need,
and Lumeria, whose transparent seed looks much like the moon in all honesty. Continual morning glories each dawn guarantee that day will always come on. Bindweed and honeysuckle yet in twist to tell us that lovers will ever persist. The melancholy thistle is a cure for the blues when taken with wine that's pure. Hickory in blossoms, maroon is clad, its young and tender leaves used for salad. Eve gave freshness, fragrance to the lily, and sees hemlock the devil's property. Left us hawkweed to clear the sight and wits, and brought hellebore to purge evil spirits.
the hawthorn here yet again blooms redux, like blackthorn in Christ's crown as thorns do,
Or as wood of the true cross where he died, all seem to miraculously multiply. Eve saplings drank of the earth's gushing breast and produced the primeval forest. Somewhere this secret wood remains unguessed, the place where all men's sorrows come to rest. Life is a flower whose leaf is summer green, whose spring was purple, passion eglantine. Although fall second spring may intervene, the frost at last is the winter sea. All earthly pleasures dear to us Eve brought, provided by the master's afterthought. Honey, juices, syrups, all hand-wrought, nuts, berries, and fruits, nothing went for naught. Eden's sinful apple, the cause of it, made for harsh apple cider, but when it was heated with sulphurous brimstone, it then turned smooth, the hell taken out of it.
the clematis with its clinging habit makes shade of traveler's joy and importance for wayfarers wearied, warm, or unfit. Its leaves are the clouds, its fruits are torches.
From quinine medicine that could relieve
of citron cure for snake bite, death's reprieve. The ginseng refreshes memory streams, calms the passions and begets pleasant dreams.
Basil leaf is a ticket to rapture, passion flower to atonement, a day star, and you, the oldest living thing on earth, yet remains alive 6,000 years worth.
The trefoil for love, heroism and wit grants power o'er the banshees of moor and pit, who would steal the soul and against all snakes. Poisonous, they scuttle into the lakes. Edelweiss, a white flower most scattered, is the heart left by an angel visitant. Mistletoe lends a green indoor refuge to the wintering spirits of the wood. The dusk deepens, night's pot of tea steepens, silence descends as when a gift opens.
Eventide rises on high, Orion camps. The eyes catch stars like fireflies in lamps.
Our shadows are touching in the same shade. We embody in third dimension made. We kiss, drift, cross into each other's role. Spirits open, rainbows meld in the soul. If nightshade you eat, you'll become as so, and we'll see the ghosts, shades and dark shadows of those who came before our humankind, those whose spirit worlds overlap the mind.
The tuberose is a dangerous pleasure, even when taken in but small measure. Its exquisite scent has such great power that it can wither you within the hour.
What's that? Phantoms that are but a glimmer of the life and light of some halfway scene, of beings twixt man and angel they shimmer, as one might remember them from a dream. They Cupid-like are the souls of flowers, and wear petal cloaks and have wings that blur. They steep in cowslip wherewith childhood's ear you listening, all their music can hear. The silk tree spirits, wood folk and fays gathered in posies of living
the tree. Striped shadowed Adam's Eve through all the land. The seeds sprouting everywhere by their hand. The grove blessed by a big seed sprinkling water that showered the plants with the fine dewy scent. The naiads to spread germinating seeds. Among them these many blossoming deeds. Perpetual flowering carnations and sparkling buttercup potions, as in the silken saucers for hollyhock tea, in which a child could capture the wild bee, to hear the aggravated buzz in play, then unstung free the bee to fly away.
The elves grew basil, wolfbane, cucumber, cinquefoil, meadow, saffron, and germander, even gillyflower and primroses, to which the fays gave their dewy kisses.
Cotton grew woven by the wee people into clothes with a whirling spinning wheel, whose spindle was the stinger of a bee. Weavings that surpass the spider's best web. Fireflies followed and lit the way. Little weavers who were chased by jealous spiders. The folk hated a cotton ball. The spider, the binding, nothing there at all. The wheat flowers came marking autumn's track. The blossoms that almost brought the spring back. But winter's white death wrap was drawn over, smothering the earth's last warm, sweet odor. Just then comes the end of summer's dreams, a blanching of the grassy banks of streams. But all fragrances the elves remember, through their sleep during the winter embers.
Youth and beauty made a jet winter more, for summer's grain, waving wheat and corn.
For old autumn withered wine have passed on, leaving the earth a widow, weather-worn.
Flowers lay their heads to sleep in soft beds. Blank blanketed by webs of gossamer threads. The fairy creatures cast their spectral glow as winter stars, floral twins, start to grow. Later, when surely all the world is dead, a fairy stands atop old winter's grave and says, "'Tis not dead," and by magic bread makes snowdrops flower in the tomb's heat wave.
Winter, how come night and early flower
grows even under the season's dim power, and its bright corollas far out splendor the winter sun's pale and paltry color. Nymphs slide from their cocoons, their pinions, yet wrapped in wet, then breathe the earthy air that calls them forth into life's dominion, to fly and flutter and flux here and there. Flowers spring from the footfalls of a lass, foliage withers where evil spirits cast, but where unknown colors shine, fairies mass and drink the twilight dew of the grass. The elves blow their pipes to awaken nature's flora that her step may quicken, and from the odors memories recur as we're giving back our youth of summer. The blooms are crimson mist in green blade, through yellow air beyond the deep blue shade. A white mist drifts through azure skies bathed toward purple mountains, fragrance of the glade. In the spirit world, the grass is greener, the heart's redder, and the passion's pinker. Orange, cherry, and violet are classic colors, and twixt blue and green falls a new tincture. The truths grow wherever rainbows touch, their colors vibrant, a bouquet as such, of rays that make the flowers glow so much. Heaven's prismatic radiance, life's club. Love is reason enough for its giving, for beauty is its own excuse for being. The doing of good becomes its own reward, and the truth does best define its meaning. In the luminous backwood haunts night plants,
are seen growing fast from the touch of nymphs. Fairies' frocks made of elfin sewing, of heart halves of ladies' lockets joined in love. At night, tulip lamps light the lover's gate, as hollyhock torches illuminate the secret hollows glow from crocuses, their cups of sunlight stored for the muses. At woodland's edge we folk leave sentinels, the bugle flowers to announce to dells the entrance of lovers into the wood, so all can enjoy the amorous mode. Wherever the elves themselves have romance, wild pansies known as jump up and kiss me spring from the power of their loving dance, emanations from the sprites in the tree. The eyes love to rest on the sky of blue, while Eve upon the greensward smiles at you. A new life colors the world in between. Devils and angels, Earth's human Christie. Eve set tufts of anemones fully blown, ever after given as the wind's own, and vines wreathing and twining overgrown, and odoriferous blooms in bunches sown. Across the lea and on the moor she shows, along the lane and through woodland meadows. Eve, Mother Nature, yet lives in boughs, and thickets still imparting all she knows. Some flowers close protecting their pollen by sleeping, some at morn, some at even.
The glowworm starry stars come down to ground, gleam the shadowy woods through summer's round.
Then fall's leaves flutter through the quiet air, the autumn beam, the sunset of the year. Proud is death's coloring of all that grows, so fairies don't allow it in their rainbows. But beyond the spectrum, where we can see real hues painted fantasy, Venus
brightness shining in broad daylight, knowing where to look as if it were night. Then follow her as the evening star, till with her fiery lover she takes flight.
Just before dawn, amid the dew and moss, elves ride on a moonbeam made of blue gloss, and see the North Star and the Seven Cross in the same sky most all the way across.
Now the earth is very old, but each spring it turns young again when nature reinvents it, constructing the temple of for outside. In desert, field, wetland, woodland, and wayside.
Spring kisses the earth, gleaming flowers there, like those whose perfume first scented virgin air. As again the fragrant planet heaven's pearls, Earth's anniversary with flowers fair.
Slake love's thirst for life's earthly endeavor, near a stream where wildflowers grow forever. Flowers influence our feelings, deep they roam. Flora's fairest flowers compose heaven's poem. The pure white flowers of paradise aglow, only within the subalpine meadow. Not to mention sundrop, saffron, twin flower, pomander, and 1,000 other flowers. For supper, Eve savored salad made from thyme, mallow, biber leaf, and sugar plum. All edible and flavorful flowers, mixed with chervil, lavage, and sunflower. The lavender, rosemary, and sage all release fragrance when crushed by a footfall. So herbs are strewn on floors to clean and scent, ordered ornaments preventing aliments. Early sage before it essence, left us sweet-smelling cans with flowered scents and aromas, red dolmens, fluorescence, in flush and prime of days reminiscence. Looms have eternal life in heaven's blade, an ethereal floral wonderland of everlasting recollections. But then mortal life would never fade. When Eden fell, all elfin creatures too were loosed with Eve into the world anew. Their tenders of the precious flowers few, of the flora that in the garden grew.
There, what uncanny things flock in between, unknown in the shadows there, but unseen.
Their dream visions completing the triad of earth's heavenly things with flowers and love.
Breathe flowered air and you'll never know death. Your incarnate life and eternal wreath.
Breathe ambrosial incense, balm and spice, of flowers as fragrant as a fairy's breath. Eve's elves gave us the taste of strawberry,
the messages of the honeysuckle,
the signals of wisteria, and the ones neglected memories of rosemary,
and the sweet breath of purple violets within ever voice of rivulets,
and starlit pimpernels that as nice days pass and fold, they are the core man's weather glass. And brilliant clumps of blue delphiniums, soft irises and sharp nasturtiums,
dewy-eyed pensings, velvet smooth and dear, and lilies of the valley, there ease tears.
He's carried myrtle to meaning perfume, to rouse beauty from her watery tomb. Myrtilla rose from the sea in old Greece, adding myrtle sprigs to the laurel wreath. The arts were first born from the acanthus,
In the wreaths of it made at ornaments,
they're engraved in the columns of Corinth, as Greek architectural ornaments.
sight. When Sirius rose against the moon last night.
Orange blossoms a generosity shower, being at once fruit, foliage, and flower. They bear the legendary apples golden, often guarded by an air-sleeping dragon.
For remembrance Eve brought us rosemary, the lily too white for its purity,
and the tulip, which does declare its love by the truth which it is the beauty of. But all the flowers mentioned herein above would not have made this life worthy of. So we took the rose, the bloom of love, right under the eyes of heaven above. The rose was pure white when it first was born, until she kissed it with her ruby lips. Or came it red when Venus fell on a thorn, rushing to the aid of struck Adonis? Or did the rose sprout forth fall fully blown from the heart of a goddess, do you think? Or was it out of Cupid's nectar grown, when he poured to earth that heavenly drink? Oh, when the nightingale with hope forlorn, overpowered by the rose's perfume, impaled itself in love upon her form, then revived in the beauty of the bloom. With the rose the earth is rich forever. It's born from spring's dying kiss to summer, and wears all the gems that the dew has wreathed, blooming wherever summer's breath has breathed. The winds make love to the flowers of May. The woods burst with the joy of Eve's bouquet.